Hello, welcome back to my channel. I just filmed the entire first intro and the first roll of this video. What's it called? Not horizontally, vertically. Yeah, so that's great. So we'll just have a quick run through of what we have covered so far. Basically, I had a feeling that I had finished my February TBR, so I wanted to do my March TBR so we could get a little bit of a head start. I don't really care too much about getting a head start on the next month's TBR. So anyway, I had to read a nonfiction about Denmark, and I picked a book about is it called brown coal excavation camps that were further up north in especially the 40s and 50s. I think it actually ended in 51, he said. Anyway, I picked that one because my granddad actually worked at the camp for a little while, and I went to the museum that they have up there last year in the fall, I think, and it was pretty interesting. And my dad had this book that was basically just like a book about it. And I had a flip through of it today, and it was a little bit boring. So it just talked a lot about specific people and how they were members of certain committees and yada yada yada. And I was probably a little bit more interested in like the science behind it and the overall history of it, and not so much the specific people. But anyway, so I count that as a DNF. Then I also DNF'd Malice by John Gwynne. I just don't think those big, sweeping, epic fantasies are for me. So we'll leave it at that. Then I read The Shadow Cabinet, and I enjoyed it. I don't love the HMRC series like some people did when it first came out. Potentially still do, I don't know. But it was fine, and it definitely picked up towards the end. So I will read the third one. I just have to have a little break between. Then I got a book from my childhood, and I picked Anne of Green Gables. I have reread it before, and I just really enjoy her optimistic view on life. And I think that was just what I needed. And the nature descriptions are really wonderful too. So just having like ice and snow and wet and gray here, it was really nice to have her descriptions of like the fall foliage and all the spring flowers coming up. And yeah, then we had the end spot, and I picked Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. Horror is not really my thing. I rarely read it, if at all, but when T. Kingfisher does it, I enjoy it. So, and I also enjoyed this one. Then for our fantasy, I had also put a reread of Cinder by Marissa Meyer, because that meant that I finished our fantasy for the first time. So that's great. It was very basic. I only did the like normal mode. So, but yeah, I finished. Okay, so then I had my first roll, and I got a 7, and I pulled this card, which is the second book in a series. And then I was debating which series to pick. This is my Notion spreadsheet of series in progress, where I have read the first book. And there were quite a lot to choose from, and basically I talked you through it all. I won't do it again, but I will say I decided to go for either Detective Kosuke Kindaichi, which is like a Japanese Agatha Christie style Golden Age mystery thing. I enjoyed the first book, and I'm interested to continue. Then we also have Heart and Mercy. I really, really loved the first book. I read it last year, and as far as I know, these are interconnected stories, so we follow a different couple in the second book. Then there's also the Three Dahlias Mysteries, and that's a contemporary mystery series where there are 3 women who have played this fictional detective on TV, and they get together because of a weekend themed getaway at this grand house. It's like sort of Comic-Con for fans of this series. And then there's a murder, and they team together to solve it. And that was fun too. And then I also considered Vera Wong because I enjoyed the first one, and I think the second one should be available soon for me through my library at some point. So I think I will have a look at those 4 and see which one, if any, I can get from my library, and then we will pick that one basically. Also, I forgot to say, because I did finish my TBR, I count DNFs as successful. Because of that, we are going the short way round, so we are skipping all of these small ones, and because I'm feeling a little bit more confident with my reading speed, I have decided instead of using a D12, I'm using a D8 to get hopefully more than the 5-ish books that I have been getting the past couple of months, but not the 10-ish books that a D6 usually gets me. So 8. I feel like we are blowing past this. Okay, so that's just another card. The North Star, an inspiring book. Okay, let me have a think about that. Okay, today is not my day. I just filmed that entire bit and wasn't recording. God damn it. Okay, so I picked this book, which is A Sustainable Badass by Gitte Marie Johansen. She is a YouTuber. She's Danish, but she does her videos in English. So if you're interested, you can look her up and have a look. And it's basically a zero waste lifestyle guide. And I want to read that because I want to be more zero waste or sustainable. I'm never going to be zero waste, I think, because that's a bit of a tall ask for anyone, I think. But anyway, I definitely want to focus more on reducing my plastic, especially in the kitchen and the bathroom, because I feel like I use a lot of like shampoo, conditioner, body lotion, stuff like that, and also dishwasher and food storage bags in plastic. So I'm looking for alternatives for that. I have bought my first shampoo bar, but I'm not sure how I'm liking it. So it's probably just a question of, getting used to it. But anyway, I think I'm going to switch to a D4 because like I said, I do want a few more books than just the 2 we have. So with the D8, we could potentially just end up with three books because I do pick one for the end spot here. But let's see. You can't see. There we go. A 1. Okay, I got what I wanted. So that's another here. So an alternate history book for revisionism. Let me have a look and see if I have any. I don't really have any alternate history books on my TBR, so I'm going to take the opportunity to reread Wolf by Wolf, which is basically what if the Nazis won the war. And we are following a motorcycle race set up by the Nazis, Hitler, basically. And the winner gets to meet Hitler, and we follow, what's her name? Yael, who is participating in this motorcycle race because she wants to meet Hitler and get close enough to kill him. And yeah, basically we just follow this motorcycle race and the other participants in it. And when I read it the first time, which was like, I want to say 2015-ish, when is this book even out? I feel like it was the height of YA dystopia thing. Let's see. Okay, so it's first published in 2015, so I probably read it in like 2016 or 17. But yeah, and I am trying to reread my entire library to see what books are worth keeping and which are not. So that is that, and let's have another roll. A 2, and that brings us over the danger field, otherwise we would have had to go back. So we are picking another card, and that is a translated book. And I think I know what I want to read. Let me go pick it. This is probably not cheating, but maybe not following the spirit of the law, shall we say. This is a nonfiction called The Power of Geography by Tim Marshall, and it is translated into Danish. So he wrote Prisoner of Geography, and I read that a while ago, and I remember really enjoying it. So I figured I would read this one too, and yeah, it's translated into Danish. I think this was meant to be like, for example, Korean or Japanese or South American books translated into English or Danish or whatever. But yeah, right now this is what I have home from the library, and I really need to read my library books because a lot of them I have had for so long that I can't renew them anymore. So it's crunch time. So let's see where this lands us. Another one. Okay, now I'm feeling like this is just trolling me because I said I wanted more books. So a non-fiction about literature. That is quite specific. I feel like I've recently had this and failed. A non-fiction about literature. What could that be? Let me have a look. Okay, so I found a book called The Book of Lost Books by Stuart Kelly. And it says it's a history of famous lost works of literature. So I think that counts. And it definitely sounds the most interesting of the things that I could find. So let's see, if we get a 1, we get another book. If we get a 2, we hit the end spot and we can pick the end spot book. We got a 4. So we are done. And for the end spot, I have actually already picked a book. Again, one of the library books. This is Cinderhouse by Freya Marske. Don't know how to pronounce that. This came up on my radar when I was researching books for Høkjed for the new release prompt that I have since given up on. But yeah, it sounded interesting. This tells me nothing. A retelling. Okay, great. Fairy tale retellings. Normally I don't love that, but it's short, if nothing else. So we're going to pick this for the end spot, and that means we have 6 books to read in the month of March. And I feel like that is doable. It didn't really give me, I don't know. I was shooting for maybe 1 or 2 more books, but that does mean I have the opportunity to just add a few books myself, which I also usually will, because, you know, stuff comes up and stuff needs to go back to the library. So there's always books like encroaching on my set TBR. So it's good to have a little bit of extra space. So let me know what you are reading in March, and would you have picked something else for any of these, like especially the alternate history, because I do like the whole like what if mind if of that, but I don't really know that many. So yeah, let me know if you have any recommendations. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.